down here in Melbourne, Australia. Recently I decided to do some lighting setup in small spaces, and I shot a clip of 50 seconds recently, inspired by a movie called Moonlight, shot by a cinematographer called James Laxton. I thought, why not doing a breakdown for you guys so you can see what was the process and how did I do it. And you know, you might learn one or two things the same way that I did that day, so here we go. I decided previously of my whole sequence that my first shot was going to be the same as my last shot. So I needed to do that entrance and then sort of pretending that I was fixing the blinds and then coming back because I was gonna use it for my end shot. It's very important in your pre-production or when you think the sequence that you're gonna have, that you think of all the shots, so you might execute a few shots if you're shooting in the same way. If I didn't plan it this way, then I would have to come back and trying to emulate the same spot and the same point of view, and probably I wouldn't match it perfectly. So I thought about it before I was starting the shoot, and that way I could execute both shots at the same time. So I start with my blowing my light setup. I use a Forza 60B on the outside, putting it in a colder tone. So I put it in 6500 kelvins on the outside, and then I use my Forza 60 on the inside with an umbrella just to give a room tone. But then I realized that outside that room where the walls is, before you enter the room, it was pretty dark. So I needed to bring those levels up. So I use a puppet to this little beast. It's very powerful, and it comes with an attachment or two little metals that I use some gaff tape and I put it onto the wall, and because they're magnetic, I just place it in there. I was on a 50% pretty much, and that brought my levels up from the outside so it wouldn't be completely dark. Once I go to the next shot, and once you enter the room, that puppet tube that was attached to the wall, it helped me out to bring the levels of my face and my shoulder up as well. And then I have the Forza 60 on the inside in the corner, and bringing the levels of the room and as well hitting that bed to bring the exposure up. So as soon as I walked past, I could see my shadow. 60B from the outside, emulating the moon with a colder temperature. And then I have my practical light on my right side, which is the warm tone, and it will help me out for the next shots to do a contrast into temperature with temperature. Then my next shot, what I did was I brought the practical light closer to me so I could see all my right side in a warm tone, and then my left side, it's the cold tone from the Moonlight, from the Forza 60B that is from the outside of the house. The next shot, it's sort of my hero shot, which is me drinking the tea, sitting down in the bed. So I have pretty much the same setup. I sit down, I have my Forza 60 in front of me as a key light. I brought it up a little bit more than Forza 60B from the outside, and I brought back the lamp to the corner so it wouldn't be next to me. So this is my shot with no light. Then this is my shot with the moonlight coming from outside through the window and making the shapes at the back. Then this is when I add up the practical light, and then now this is with the key light. So as you can see, so even though that the light from outside is very strong and the practical light gives me the separation from the background, I needed a key light inside the room to bring my levels up. Otherwise I wouldn't see myself. It will be very dark. So that's when it came handy, the Forza 60, which is very strong, and as you can see, I'm like full lit in there. And that's it, guys. So here is the sequence. I'll leave it for you once more. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments, give it a like and subscribe, and see you next time, guys.